This Mario Party, fucking Switch. See when this motherfucker comes out. Release date October 5th, 2018. I'm gonna play with you, and we'll be back in our teens.
Wow, we're gonna be,
which is like our teen years.
Teens. I can't wait.
Well, because that's when we met. Well, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm getting Mario Party, Super Mario Party. You might want to get it as well.
Well,
or no?
I'm getting it.
No. Well, yeah, I guess you're getting it, but so we don't need to. Oh no, you do, because remember you need 2 Switches. Yeah, because you can have that where you like, oh, that's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait to fucking play that, dude. We're gonna be probably playing that the entire time, that and Mario Kart the entire time I'm there, and you're gonna give me that fucking Mario Kart that you stole from me, you son of a bitch. Oh yeah, I'm excited.
We're gonna have a ton.
Can you imagine if I get to the airport and I'm like, Fred, I forgot the Switch.
Yeah,
we would still have fun, but it would not be as fun.
Yeah, it'd be like Home Alone. You left your Switch.
That's not like fucking Home Alone. There's no creepy old man trying to molest a child, Fred.
They weren't trying to molest him.
You don't know
Home Alone, they were just trying to rob the house, I thought.
Yeah, but you don't know what they would have done with him afterwards. They tied him up at one point, didn't they?
They like hung him on the back of a door.
Some sick motherfuckers. Anyway, was it the Wet Bandits? The Wet Bandits!
Sticky Bandits. No, Wet Bandits was the first Bandits. Time, and then Sticky Bandits second time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you'll be happy to note that on Best Buy, Super Mario Party for Switch has a 4.8 out of 5.
Where? On Target?
On Best Buy. Makes no fucking sense. It's not come out yet. That's stupid. Okay. We're moving on from
Back to the Basics.
From the 3DS, aren't we? Are we? I mean, so the thing is, like, okay, the reason the section's called Back to the Basics is because it's like back to old school gaming. I understand what you're saying, and I do agree that the 3DS, at this point, I would just like it to stay around so it can become like the oldest console / handheld, whatever. You can put those in the same boat. That is still being developed for, today. Like, I want that to be the longest developed console. Right. What is the longest developed console? That's a good question.
I mean, if you include the DS, that could be the one.
That or, I say...
Do you count Steam as a console?
No, I don't, but because they would go back. I mean, it could be, I guess you're right, but that's more PC. I'm talking about consoles, home consoles that you plug into your TV only, like not on a PC or anything like that. I think the 360 might be the longest running.
I wouldn't be. The 360 was very long.
Because it was out before any of the other two, and it still lasted throughout that generation.
If you think it started at
2006, I believe.
Was it 06? And then
I think so.
It went over 10 years.
2013. Well, okay, sorry. Oh, shit. Sorry. I say 2013. So that was whenever the new consoles came out. You're right. They still developed them through, I think, even like 2017. Let me look at last game on Xbox 360. Last game released on there was... They're still making games answering this past February. Just Dance 2018 is on fucking Xbox 360. FIFA 18's on 360. NBA 2K18's on 360.
Really?
Holy shit.
So it's still basically being...
The fucking 360 might be the longest lasting console. I don't know if they're releasing shit for PlayStation 3, but even if they were, fucking Xbox came out before. I think they're still releasing games on the 360. Anyway, okay, sorry. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's an interesting thing to think about. 360 might be winning that, but 3DS I would like to see to still keep getting games developed for it because I understand the niche for it. I always talk shit about the 3DS. I don't hate the 3DS. I loved it at one point. My whole thing is, my issue, I just want more games like that for the Switch as well. If anything, release it for both. I'd be totally fine with that. Release it for both.
But I think in some cases it's hard for the Switch because they want to make the draw of the 3DS a dual screen experience and a touch screen experience. And if you want to take that and put it on the Switch, you don't want a game to always be a touch screen experience because you want people to be able to play on the TV as well. Okay,
I understand. But that's a great thing about the Switch. You can do both.
Sure. That's true.
Okay, we'll move on from there. Let's talk about something that we're going on to next section. Actually, do that. Can you do me a favor, Fred? Can you do the sound effect right motherfucking now?
Yep.
Anyway, okay, so this is something that we touched on Friday. Friday is the day that I go get this place called Royal Blue at by my office. Get an awesome sandwich in there. On my lunch break, I go play games downstairs as I do every day. But on Fridays, I'm like, it's lunchtime. It's on Friday. And I just fucking have like a couple beers or something like that. I get a little tipsy. Every now and then. A little tipsy. Nothing crazy. 2 beers. It's fine. It's fine, Fred.
That's all it takes.
Maybe 3. Doesn't matter. I was a little bit tipsy when I got a little
tipsy,
passionate about. No, not got. Yeah, I was tipsy when I got tipsy. Yes, I wasn't tipsy and then got tipsy. I was tipsy after just being tipsy of the first. God damn it! Okay, so I got a little emotional about this, and it was because I was reading about a topic that we'll discuss in a second, and then it kind of led me to ask Fred. I called him on the phone. I was like, "Hey, where do we draw the line on talking about politics or social issues on this cast? Because we can say we're journalists, but I don't consider myself a journalist. I consider myself, maybe to the lowest sense, possibly.
You consider yourself an entertainer.
Sure, that's my goal. I don't even know if I'm that, but that's my goal with the fucking podcast, right? And if we get some good news out of it, then fine. Then I can think of myself as maybe a little bit of a journalist. But I'm not fucking Walter Cronkite over here. So I don't think that we should be proper commentators for certain social issues and politics, although when it relates to video games, I think we should be able to say whatever we want. And the thing is, like, I have a background degree in political science, so if anybody's qualified on this, I would be semi-qualified to talk about said politics or social issues. I just would rather choose not to because I don't want that to be the focus of our cast. Our cast is for entertainment purposes. People see that shit on a daily basis on the news, on late night shows, on everything, even on like SNL and stuff.
Right.
So I feel like they should be able to come to our podcast to escape from the things they don't want to constantly be hearing about. I mean, fuck, even in the NFL, we have conversations about these things, which I'm not saying these conversations are unimportant. They are very, very important. But our platform is not, unless it relates to video games, our platform is not one to just bring it up at multiple times. Do you agree with that?
Well, in terms of just like normal everyday politics, yeah. I mean, we're here to talk about gaming. And if it does pertain, like, for instance, the Quantic Dream court case.
That was where this came from. We'll talk about the Quantic Dreams court case in just a second. But yeah, right.
Yeah, things like that where, and because you have to think about it like this. If a company is going to do something that we can't morally stand by, and we still talk about the games that they make, it depends on the thing that they do, right?
You brought this up. It's a really good point. So essentially what you're saying is if a company does something that we find wrong, whether it be morally or just like bad business practice, either way, whatever they do, should we still talk about their games?
Yeah. And
first of all, we can say EA does a lot of really fucked up shit, but we still talk about their games. Right. So there's that aspect. But then when it comes to Quantic Dreams, which I keep saying we're going to get to it, I need to explain. They essentially, in the short, got found, I guess, guilty of it was a lawsuit, and they lost a lawsuit in regards to an ex-employee saying that they were abused emotionally or whatnot. They were pretty much oppressed in a certain way at work. Should we still talk about the game that that studio made? Because the thing is, that ex-employee that got what abused or whatnot, we'll just go into the details in a second. That employee that felt
violated,
I guess. I don't even know what to say. It's such a weird situation. It's bad practice at work to do what these people fucking allow happen within their studio. But that person that felt persecuted and was persecuted and attacked personally, that person still put a lot of hard work, I bet, into that game. And so they probably don't want to think about that game because their experience on it was so bad. But I'm like, I still want to honor the art of people that probably worked on that didn't participate in any of these horrible acts.
Yeah.
At the so there is that. It's like, do we want to talk about these games even though the studio themselves are fucking assholes? I still want to talk about the games because we're still honoring the people's hard work that went into it.
Sure.
And we don't have to agree with their personal, I guess, people that they are. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna relate this to a non-video game topic, and a topic that we might not bring up on the show normally because but I'm just because it's not pertaining to video games. But this is still very much in line with what we're talking about right this second. Is Harvey Weinstein and his movies.
I think it's Weinstein. Why did you say Weinstein?
Why, who cares?
But I'm just saying Weinstein sounds like a fucking Dr. Seuss character.
That's fine. That's Feinstein. So Basically,
Harvey Weinstein, we all know he's a dick.
well, we're not going to pull all
dick.
of Harvey Weinstein's movies from the market.
Stop saying Weinstein. It's Weinstein. Everyone on the fucking news calls him Harvey Weinstein.
I just want you to let me exist.
Exist in your own right. You're right.
So,
I apologize.
We don't just pull all of his movies off the market because a lot of other people are going to lose money. A lot of other people's careers will be affected.
Think about it like this. I mean, like, he wasn't a director or anything like that. At least, I hope he fucking wasn't. But he did publish movies by, like, Kevin Smith, for example. Kevin Smith was a big one. Fucking Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, I think, used it for the fucking Robin Williams movie. How am I not? Oh, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
That was released. Because I believe Miramax was Harvey Weinstein, wasn't he? I don't fucking know. Anyway,
confirm.
Do we still support the movies that he put out? Yes,
so
I agree with what you're
if
saying.
somebody at the top of Quantic Dreams is a person to blame, right? Then do we just say, okay, well, Detroit Become Human isn't worth our time. It's not. We don't want to promote it. We don't want to make them any money. You know, we're damaging more than just that guy.
Yeah.
We're damaging all the people who worked on that game for the year, you know, the 3 years before, and then like the possible work that they could have for the next 3 or 4 years, you know, because games as a service, right? So we're hoping that they stay employed. It's not their fault
You're right.
that these things happen.
You're right. And so the thing is also, I mean, we should definitely, I feel like when it comes to, like, should we talk about politics or social issues in gaming? This is an example of we definitely should, because we should get the word out that this developer has people working in the higher ups at their establishment that allow bullshit to go on. And pretty much what they were doing, it's something that if you did it to me, Fred, I'd be like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah. But in the workplace, with people that are actually not doing it in a funny, goofy way, it's like, what the fuck?
Right.
People were putting different photoshopping employees. I don't know if it was one employee in particular or like a couple employees, but one employee obviously sued them. So that was the one that in particular felt discriminated against. They would put their picture on like,
did you say it was like a sexual thing?
Like male porn stars with like dildos in their hands. It was like the pictures I saw on the news story were like, it was just like a bunch of weird shit. Like you would put their picture on stupid things. They put their picture on fucking Adolf Hitler, like their face on Adolf Hitler.
Was this
stuff like that?
Do we know? I don't think we even know. Was this like behind this person's back?
No, they put them all throughout the office. So it was probably immature idiots that were working there that thought it was funny to get away with this. But then the thing is, the upper management let them get away with this and didn't reprimand them.
Because there's a little bit of, we don't have a ton of information on it because it's French and we haven't had everything translated for us.
The studio is in France, by the way, just FYI.
Well, yeah. Well, we have kind of minimal details. We know that pictures were circulated that you were like, photoshops of someone's face on like in a sexual position or something. We know there were, I don't know, I guess some messages that just overall were not PC.
Right.
Right. And,
exactly.
And here's this is as much as we know. Like I'm trying to downplay anything. We just don't know a lot. But what I'm trying to say is, it seemed like somebody was looped in on this email.
They were posted around the office. I'm telling you, they were posted around the office.
Right. And we don't even know if this person was involved in it. They might have just seen the pictures and thought like, I don't feel like this is professional. You
can still be offended in the workplace. You have the proper right to be offended and like not have that shit happen in the workplace.
Right.
Like in the fucking real world, it is what it is. Like fucking, although if you did that shit to me, I would fucking laugh.
Yeah, we would
because
laugh.
Like you're being an idiot to me, and we know that it's all in good fun, and that's just how we joke with each other. But in the workplace, if someone's not comfortable with that, then you have to respect the shit out of that. Like you have to. Like, I overly respect the shit out of that. Like, that is ridiculous. You cannot fucking because, I mean, think about it. People work in the workplace a majority of their lives. Like, throughout the week, like, you're at your job at least 40 hours a week, mostly, even if you're a full-time employee. Some of these employees are probably there way more if they're working on games, which take, years to develop. You don't want to have any weird animosity of coming into work. And I've had that happen at jobs where supervisors of mine just treated me like shit. So I'm not saying they like did anything inappropriate in terms of anything like what Quantic Dreams did. I'm just saying, even just feeling like my boss is an asshole, I didn't like coming into work.
Yeah.
And so, can you imagine the feeling of knowing you have to make money, you got to come in for the job, but you're feeling discriminated against? That's bullshit. Like, you shouldn't have to feel like that.
Like you said, if I sent you something like that, you'd laugh about it. Now, when you're in an office, of course, it's more than two people. So you have to know boundaries. And not only the boundaries of that person, but the people around them, because it's like, say, yeah, you and I have a relationship like that, but say we CC 15 people in on